You are now listening to
The Really Joe podcast. Really Joe. Really.
So we gonna talk about growing up in a step family. So we got Jose. Since you opened this can, we gotta talk about it now. You open this can.
Go for it.
So this wasn't expected, but it's been happening. But let me ask you from your point of view. Short answer this. I feel like early on, y'all didn't care to have that man there early on. And now, granted, that I know that should kind of somewhat be expected now, being an adult and looking back at it. But in the moment when it was happening, I don't think you guys have kind of appreciated it from my point of view. But feel free to give me your opinion.
That's not a short answer question. First of all, second of all, first coming from the beginning of it, no. And that comes from him, just like you, probably what we both thinking about right now. It's just to be expected. You know what I'm saying? We'll give him a hard time. He new to the family, whoop, whoop. You know what I'm saying? Mid part of it, still again, no. Because we're making him work as a man. You know what I'm saying? We're making him. We want to make him step up to the plate. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we come from a mama love. You know what I'm saying? And when a man walks in, we're just not going to open the door for him and just let him walk through there. We're going to make him work for everything that's sitting on the other side of this. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't know whether you want it long term or you want it short term. You know what I'm saying? And that's just me and my brother's standpoint on that one. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you hear, you hear. But if you're not, then hey, we're gonna do whatever we gotta do to make this null, then we're gonna make this move around. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But as the answer for the long term, we didn't see a lot of stuff until we grew up, until we matured into our manhood. And I say that too lightly, because a lot of stuff that what was told to us back then, we didn't pay no attention to it. Everything that was told to us back then, we kind of, as a human being, be personally with you, as a human being, I took everything lightly to what everybody told me back then. You know, I mean, it was like, shit, man, I might have to experience it regardless anyway. So, and might as well go ahead and face it firsthand. But as looking at it back down now, after having a conversation with him years ago at a football game, it was a 20-minute conversation. I respected him more. I understood that I kind of took, and I'm only speaking this for myself. I don't know how my brother feels about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm only going to speak for this one on my own. I kind of took it for granted, regardless on how he tried to manifest the situation or how he tried to come at us as a parent wise. I would honestly say that I mishandled that situation. As a parent, as a dad today, my hat's off to him. I mean, I get that you guys don't talk or anything like that, but my hat's off to him because I see a lot of stuff that he tried to correct. At the time, it was just too late to correct because of the fact how old I was, you know, and where I stood at on things. Would I have a conversation with him today? Yes, I would admit my wrongs, my wrongdoings to him today, face to face. I don't think that as and I'm only speaking on the step parent side of it. So I mean, whatever you guys have indifferences or whatever, I'm not speaking on that. I'm only speaking on my personal experience or encounters with him right now.
And I always tell people, if you can keep your family together, do it. Because growing up in the step family, it can be great, but more than likely it's not. You know what I'm saying? There's gonna be some differences, you know, like I felt like I've been treated different from the other siblings in the household. You know, you can be this way with one parent, this you have to be this way with the other parent. It's different. And if everybody's not on the same page, it's a headache, you know, in my opinion. Just like
Definitely a headache.
just like, okay, so it's you and your brother and your mama, right? And I know somebody in that same situation where it's his girl and her sons. And I tell them all the time, they don't want you there. They want their mama all to themselves. Like that's what it is. Like I'm sorry.
As sitting on that side of it, yes, you're definitely right. Like you nailed it on the head, because my mama, I'm a mama's boy. Of course, my brother is a mama's boy. Before, I do believe before yours, you was a mama's boy, and there, so to speak, was in Terrence as well. Yes, as when we first met and everything like that, dude, I was against you. Like from day one, you know what I'm saying? From the rip, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say a lot to you, you know. I ain't gonna sit here and say, you know, like, dude, I'm gonna welcome him and his brother in with open arms, because before you guys came into the picture, it was me. It was me and my brother, and then your dad. You know what I'm saying? My mom and your dad. And then, when situation arose or whatever, we had to go down there and, go to Kansas City, whatever, whoop, whoop. I'm saying that respectfully. I'm not really, I know what happened and everything like that. I'm just trying to be respectful on that end, you know what I'm saying? Because I know you guys, I mean, to you and to both of you guys, you know what I'm saying? That's one word we can't say around you guys, you know what I'm saying? We can't talk about your mama whatsoever, you know what I'm saying? Because, we had so many knockdown, drag out fights on that one, you know what I'm saying? Just in general, you know what I'm saying? So as a grown man, I'm, taking my hats off whenever I speak of her or speak toward her name, you know what I'm saying? That
I appreciate that,
very
man.
respectful. But go back to saying to when we first met you guys, it was me and my, when my mom first met your dad, it was me. It was just us. It was just all us. Until like I said, so the situation arose that we had to, you guys join the club, and when you guys joined the club, I was baby boy in the family, and then my brother was older brother, and then we get two new brothers in here. Terrence is older brother, and then you baby boy, you know what I'm saying? You baby boy, you know what I'm saying? So that knocked me way out the picture. So, as being baby boy, so, yeah, we had animosity there, you know what I'm saying, off the rip, you know what I'm saying? Like, wait a minute, ain't no other dude for to come over here and just be like, baby boy. So, we met each other. When we went to, I can't really remember the whole exchange in KC or anything like that, but
it was quick.
We met each other. It was definitely quick. Definitely quick. It was like in and out. We like picked you guys up and shit. Next day we was on the road, in Stacy wagon in the back seat, looking at each other like, nigga, who the fuck is you? Who is you? You know what I'm saying? Like, it was tough, but at the same time, I think at the end of the day, I think we all grew around each other there for a minute. You know what I'm saying? We respected each other. We came into it not knowingly acknowledging the fact of what truly happened. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And not taking into consideration on the consideration. You know what I'm saying? The circumstances. And we kind of, like I said, I mean, it's tough to say now, looking back at it, because honestly, I got so much respect for you and your brother, and Terrence. Got so much respect for you guys that I can say speak on for myself. I didn't give you guys the benefit of the doubt. Didn't, because you was in my hometown. You were always around my family. You was always there. You know what I'm saying? And we didn't give you. Well, I didn't give you that. I didn't take my hat off to you at that particular time. That's selfish upon me, because I was kind of trying to guard my mom, or trying to, so to speak, protect her. But at the same time, I didn't. You know what I'm saying? It was just one of those ordeals. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and I say that because I already know what you're gonna go to. I already know what you're gonna say here in this in this conversation, because I left you hanging multiple times throughout our whole interaction when we was kids. Whether it was during when we were quote unquote shoplifting, quote unquote getting our ass whooped by my mom and dad because we got caught in a certain situation, and to only to counter that is to only tell you the truth. You know what I'm saying? I really didn't protect you. I really didn't stand foot for anybody else but to protect myself at that particular time. You know what I'm saying? Selfish upon myself. And I say that selfish upon myself now because at the end of the day, looking back at it now, what's 20-something years now later, I honestly think that I will protect you more than I will protect anybody else, or protect you guys, you and Terrence, you know what I'm saying, more than I would protect anybody else. Anybody asks me now today, like, well, who your brothers? You know what I'm saying? Shit, Rodney ain't the only one that's going to come out of my mouth. Rodney is not the only person that comes out of my mouth. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you got brothers, yeah, got 3. You know what I'm saying? I'm the middle child. I'm one of the middle children. You know what I'm saying? And, it took a while for me to accept that, but like I said, I say that lightly because even after divorce, after our parents got divorced, I mean, it was still, oh, I got my mama back. You know what I'm saying? But not using that to be politically correct or anything, but just to justify like how as kids or young adults we don't keep in consideration of, oh, me and Jeffrey gonna grow from here on out. You know what I'm saying? Our relationship gonna get better from here on out. Me and Terrence, like our relationship's gonna get better from here on out. We don't, as a kid or as a young adult, you don't keep in consideration of that. You keep in consideration of, okay, I got my mama back. You know what I'm saying? Especially, during the divorce process, and I'm trying to tread as lightly as I can on this one. I know it has different effects on different people now, and it's hard, and it's as a human being, you got to accept I have to accept the fact that of how I played things or how I handled things, and I got to be an adult.
Just going back, whenever y'all came to Kansas City, right, to pick us up, I didn't know who my daddy was. Like, I didn't know him at all. Like,
Never met him to that day.
Not that I can recall. So keep in mind, I had just turned 5, right? So I had no recollection of this guy. So I remember being out there in the driveway with like some of my uncles and I think my grandma and my brothers and all that. And y'all pulled up in that big blue joint and
swerving that mug.
Yeah. So they was like, that's your daddy. You finna go with your daddy. And I'm like, I don't know him.
Off the rip. That's how that was introduced to you?
Yeah. Yeah, they was like, "That's your daddy. You finna go with your daddy." And I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what about y'all? Like, it was really crazy. And
That
because it
was
was,
that was one of the first times I actually remember Casey. Like, I remember the smell in the basement. I remember, we were playing down there in the basement when we first got introduced to each other. Like what we was playing, I can't really recall on that one. I just remember you kind of remember you take pieces from certain aspects of your life. I just remember the smell of the basement. It smelled good, and it's just something about the basements that carried to me through life. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
yeah. So me not knowing who my daddy was at that time. Now, fast forward, he's told me stories about when we all lived together, and I'm like, I don't remember none of them stories. I remember when you came to pick us up, but that was it. But no lie, I felt the way because I'm like, y'all know him better than we do. Like, I don't know that guy at all.
Honestly, we didn't. Like, be real with you. The experience that I had with them wasn't what we grew up to him as. You know what I'm saying? I think my mom. I think they were just they was like dude. Honestly, we wasn't that close. We wasn't like we just met them ourselves. Like maybe 2-3 months prior to that. You know what I'm saying? And keep in mind that my mom and them probably knew my mom and your dad probably knew each other longer than that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to give you what I can recollect off of it. Maybe Rodney can tell you more. I can't. I honestly, personally, I can't say that we knew him longer. I mean, we knew him longer than what we knew you guys at the time. Yes. Uh, but did we know him? No. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? No. I didn't know him. He had never put me, as a kid, you know what I'm saying? You got that, most fathers or most people, step parents who, they try to introduce themselves, try to sit down and talk. I don't even remember that talk. If he did, you know what I'm saying? Like introducing himself. I remember when they bought the trailer, where they put the trailer at, I remember like where they was thinking about putting the trailer at, and then they end up putting the trailer there.
All right. So, like, look, this how it was for me. I don't know neither one of these people. You pick me up, you take me on this long trip to some more people I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So it was really weird because it's like you go to a place where you don't know nobody. You don't even know the one person you're supposed to know, you don't know. And so I remember being real clingy to my daddy because my people told me this your daddy. Everybody else, I'm kind of like, dude, I used to hate when he used to leave and not take me with him. It's like, why are you leaving me here? Like, I don't know these people,
Oh, I wouldn't say you was that clingy like that toward him, because I remember when we went back, cause we all, I mean, I think we all made a pact with each other, like me, you, and Rodney and Terrence. We all made a pact to each other, like, I mean, you guys didn't know your dad. Like you said, you guys didn't know your dad. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we were all coming in at it like I said, we didn't give you all the full benefit of the doubt or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But to most of the knowledge, like most of our childhood living and I say I'm only speaking on the trailer situation. You know what I'm saying, out there where we was at. Most time we were all laid back. You know what I'm saying? Like video game, we had video games. We had, I mean, they gave us everything we could possibly want. I mean, but they might have locked that shit up and like, oh, you can't do it today because we at work. Quote unquote. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, most time, even though they say that to us, what we do end up down the street where we ain't supposed to be at. You know what I'm saying? Or ripping and running in the streets where we're not supposed to be doing. But most of the time, we always watched out for. Most of the time, we watched out for each other, unless it benefited the other side, the other parties.
Now
You know
hold
what I'm
on.
saying?
We looked out
I
for
know we're
each.
gonna get to that, but
We looked out for each other. This is years later, not initially.
initially, I don't know. I mean, well,
Jose, Terrence had a fight the first day we got there.
with who? With him and Rodney?
Him and Bubba.
But him and Bubba, really? I don't remember that one.
Him and
You
Bubba
gotta
had a
elaborate
fight.
that one on me.
Him and Bubba had a fight the first day we got there.
About what? What you know?
I don't know.
We gotta get Terrence on this one because I want to know what that was about.
Hey,
But if it happened, I don't remember it. But hey, I'm not discrediting it either. So I mean, I really want to get Bubba on the phone. Bubba probably don't remember either. Yeah, he probably too high for that shit.
I can tell you somebody who does. Terrence. Terrence. So look, hey, maybe if nothing else, maybe I could do a part 2. I get Terrence and get his opinion, because I can only speak for myself and my point of view, my aspect. I can't really speak on, him. I'm gonna just ask you this, cut and dry. Do you feel like we were all treated equally?
No.
And what was the difference in your opinion?
Our parents mindset at the time. Maybe my mom thought me and Rodney should be treated a certain way at certain times. Maybe your dad thought that you guys should be treated a certain way at certain times due to, and like I said, I'm only going to use this lightly. I will never ever truly come up with this concept, like, to be disrespectful. But like I said, like, I would think that your dad may have thought you guys may be troubled at sometimes dealing with the fact that the loss, you know what I'm saying, and may want to give y'all special treatment at certain times, you know what I'm saying, where my mom's point of view is I don't want to give them this special treatment at this time, you know what I'm saying, and your dad and my mom might have been had at odds because of that. And I can only go on what I see today, right now, is that I think your dad will be right. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're knowing the situation today, like knowing everything all out, because we didn't know everything all out. You know what I'm saying then? Knowing the situation now, I think you guys deserve a big break. But at the same time, I mean, let me tell you this too. My hat's off to you guys, because not only were you guys smart as shit, to this day you guys are still smart as shit. Like, hats off to you. You guys are smart as shit. But you guys never deterred the fact that you're lost. You never use that as an excuse to do bad in school. I mean, you guys never, I mean, look at it. Go back and look at it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you guys never used that. You guys never used that loss. This particular loss in you guys' life. Y'all never fumbled the football. You know what I'm saying? You guys more to a certain extent rose to the occasion. Then allowed this loss to define the rest of your life. Go back and look at most of the people that we know. I mean, real shit. Go back and look at most of the people that we know together. And if they lost their parent during this particular time, they fell off. And when I say they fell off, they fell off. You know what I'm saying? You guys never did that. You guys never fumbled, never deterred. It may have hurt you guys to the core. But 9 out of 10, you guys didn't show us. You guys didn't show it. Like, I mean, not saying that you didn't show us, like we couldn't look at you and tell you was hurting. You know what I'm saying? I mean, at the time, no, I couldn't, because I didn't know experience. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know how to feel. I didn't know. To this day, I still can't. I can't match up to you guys on that. You know what I'm saying? I will never ever try to put myself in you guys' shoes. I would never ever say, you know what I'm saying? I'm not really not speaking on that one. I'm just saying this just on the situation then. You guys, man, shit. As a kid, as a human being, you guys never, you and Terrence never. At that time, y'all didn't fumble, y'all didn't drop shit, man. Y'all picked that motherfucker up and ran with it, man. Y'all picked that motherfucker up like it was, you know, hey, I'm doing this for you. You know what I'm saying? Like real shit. To this day, I can speak on that too. I'm looking at you now with your kids. You know what I'm saying? And then with Terrence, with his, you know, what Terrence's motivation is right now. You guys still doing it.
Yeah, man, I
Hats off to
appreciate
you.
that. Yeah, man, I
My hats off
appreciate
to you,
that.
man. Every single day, my hats off to you, man. I respect the shit out of you for that, man. I respect both of y'all for that shit, man. Like,
Well, you know
I
what?
wouldn't even.
This is the crazy thing, right? And which one? Oh yeah, one of my motherless child. You know, couple parts I did for that, right? I did tell my cousin that growing up in the step family, I felt like we was never put first, you know, right? And you know, from my point of view, just because, like for us, especially with me being the youngest, our parents got divorced. And that was like some of the best times ever, just because I felt like we was being put first, you know, versus now keep in mind it was some good times, you know, while they was married, because after a while, all us kind of, I think the four of us got treated equally, right? But it's good and bad, because it's like, dude, I got tired of getting whoopings for something I didn't do. Or, you know what I'm saying? Something I didn't even come up with. I gotta get whoopings for somebody else doing something wrong. That
But I
makes no
mean,
sense.
but when you go back to it, you go back and look at that. Like, you know, I like totally agree with you. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes we got to ask for some shit that we didn't do. You know what I'm saying? So as far as you saying that, I can definitely agree to you on that one. It's just that most of the time when we did get our ass whooped, it was like, I'm like I said, I'm with you on this one. You're like, dude, I didn't have nothing to do with this. You know what I'm saying? I was asleep today. I was actually asleep in the room back here, and I was back here all day. My time clock say I didn't even clock out of my room. You know what I'm saying? So why am I getting my ass whooped for this today? You know what I'm saying? I can relate to you on that one, but that back then they did that all the time. Like, no matter what the situation may be, no matter what, if I threw you underneath the bus, if I didn't throw you underneath the bus, if I threw Terrence underneath the bus, or I didn't throw Terrence underneath the bus, we all got our ass whooped collectively. When they were married, when they were married, we got our ass whooped collectively. But then when they got divorced, it was like I would definitely agree with you. You know, we didn't see too many ass whoopings. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Right, I bet.
I
hey, we had the ass whooping with us. You know what I'm saying? He lived with us, you know. But see,
and you know, it honestly, it was hard for, as much as he don't want to admit, me and Bart both don't want to admit to it. It was hard for both of us as well too, though. Seriously, because I mean, we, to a certain extent, we thought we lost dad and we lost brothers. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you go through a divorce like that, you know, where we got introduced to you, you was 5. You know what I'm saying? I mean, up to 14. You know what I'm saying? I mean, maybe if that, 13, 12, something like that. But but we go
about
back and
9
look
or
at it.
10.
We still go back. We still went to school together. We still followed each other. We still met each other. We still ran across each other. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Regardless of the fact, like me and Terrence, shit, you got Cheatham and you got Coleman. So if we take school pictures, depending on who else in between Cheatham and Coleman, you know, I mean, we still got to interact with each other. You know what I'm saying? And it's disheartening to a certain extent, or it's sad to a certain extent, that it even got to that to most of that to the level that it got. But honestly, we never, you guys never, to a certain extent. You guys may have been pissed at certain shit or whatever, but you once again, you guys didn't drop that ball. Because you guys could have dropped the ball any fucking time. I said, man, fuck that. You know, or man, forget that, man. Man, you did this when we was, you know, you guys could have held so much to us. You know what I'm saying? Your mama didn't deliver, or whatever the case may be. You guys could have gave that and could have dished that out, no matter how many times we wanted to speak to you guys or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? But you guys never did. Hats off to you on that one too.
Yeah, man, appreciate it.
At any point in time, you could have said, man, like man, when my mama divorced, when my daddy divorced your mama, and nigga, we were through then. You know what I'm saying? I mean, at any point in time, you had that. You guys had that upper hand on us. You know what I'm saying? I mean, but you guys never folded. You know, you guys held that. You held that class. You know what I'm saying? You showed me class.
Well, look,
rise above.
Let me say this though. Let me throw this out there. I was real hurt by your mama after the divorce, right? Because I felt like she forgot about us. Like I didn't hear from her unless I ran into her. I didn't see her unless I ran into her. So it felt like this, right? Coming from Kansas City, and you don't hear from your family no more after a little bit. Then you get into a marriage. Well, your daddy get into a marriage. After that goes sour after several years. Then you don't hear from that family no more. So it's like, you know, you take one hit, you know, it start to get better. Now you taking another hit. And it's like, I don't know. I was a little frustrated with a lot of people after that, you know.
Speak how you feel. Let me tell you something. Carla Francis, you listening to this shit right now. You pay attention to this because you always want to know why, when, and where. Here you go. He just explained it to you. You know what I'm saying? You always want to know. Here is the reason why. If he act funny or he acted funny at a particular time, this is why. So let me be the first one to tell you. Stop, listen, and just deliberate on the moment that he just delivered to you, because this is the reason why he feels the way he feels. You can't get mad at him. You can't say nothing negative to him because he just told you. He just expressed his feelings. Go ahead. So I want to tell her because at the end of the day, it's you know, both of us, we can't tell our parents shit. You know what I'm saying? The most time we can tell them till we blue in the face where their wrongs are, or we think their wrongs are, or whatever, and they gonna deny or saying that they don't see it that way or whatever. It ain't about what they see. It ain't about the way they feel. It's about what the individual did, how the individual that's affected by their decisions feel. You know what I'm saying? Like today in this world, as a human being, we all are affected by certain decisions or certain aspects in our life as a kid. You know what I'm saying? That we either want for our kids or we don't want for our kids today. You know what I'm saying? And nobody wants to feel hurt. Nobody wants to feel unwelcomed. You know what I'm saying? And if she made you feel that way, then it needs to be on Front Street. You know what I'm saying? Like for real. I mean, just like you said, if after the divorce, to a certain extent, you still felt that you had a family until the fact that she didn't speak to you during certain circumstances, or unless it was quote unquote a family function or quote unquote up to necessary for her. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's not fair to you guys that you guys didn't choose the divorce. You know what I'm saying? It was up to our parents that chose that divorce. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't up to anybody else that chose that. It was up to them. And whether they want to admit it or not, it is what it is to a certain extent. But there was different mindsets that was involved in that too. It was different aspects of children that were involved in that. You know what I'm saying? Just not your own children in that. It was the other party's children in that too. That to a certain extent, you guys still call her mom. For a while after. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of if she deserved it or she didn't, you to a certain extent you called her that. You know what I'm saying? Until you guys grew older and be like, well, shit, you know, I can't be my mom, you know, but I mean, she ain't said shit to me, you know what I'm saying? I mean, and I say that because to a certain extent, whenever we talk about your dad, I still call him dad because honestly, that's the first father figure that I had in my life. You know what I'm saying? So to a certain extent, I still call him that. You know, I catch myself here and there today, like, you know, who you talking about? I'm shit, Jeffrey, dad, that was my dad right there, you know. And then I gotta stop myself, like, he was that, but then again, he ain't that right now.
You know what else?
He isn't that.
Let me throw this out there too. I never liked that. I used to hate the fact that we was told to call her mama, and it's like, you know, I didn't like that. Like keep in mind, we was told that early on, like hell, the first week, like the first week, and it's like,
you know all that, but you know that's no disrespect to you, anything like that. I mean, I respect what you're saying. I respect where you're coming from because that's your feelings. You know what I'm saying? If somebody forced you to say something, then what is the true meaning behind it in the first place?
Well, that in the simple fact of, you know how they say kids in the city kind of they kind of pick up things quicker than kids in the, you know, in the southern area. So it's like, I know the difference. You know, and it's like, I know how I got here. You know, it's like, I know how I got here. I know enough to know how I got here. But as soon as I get here, you want me to start calling her mama, and it's like, I don't get it. Like,
that's not right. But at the same time, back in the, what was that, the 90s, early 90s or whatever, that's what quote unquote was the quota. But I'm like you, that's totally that's disrespectful, because you can't force an individual to say something. Well, you can, but at the same time, how genuine is it? You know what I'm saying? I mean, and
then the fact that we don't look alike at all.
You know, got a white woman sitting over there, you gotta call mama, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I call it what it is. She can get mad at me how she wants to, because I call it this to this day. There's a white woman making a black man call her mama.
I'm just saying, man, it was different, man. That's like if the four of us was out somewhere, Rodney the eyeball, you know, like if
let's take that back. Let's say Rodney as visualize.
Visually.
If you looking at us, Rodney will definitely be the eyeball. But if he get to talking, shit, that's a wrap.
Yeah. But you know, just visually, you know, if we go somewhere and be like, we brothers, they can be like, what about him though? You know what I'm saying? What about the one with the freckles over there? You know? But so I was cool away from the crib. Like if it was just the four, it's cool, no problem. But then when you factor in if the parents are around and it's the six of us, now I gotta explain. You know what I'm saying? Like, man.
And it's hard on I can see how it was very difficult. Today I can see how it was very difficult for you guys. Back then I couldn't see that. You know what I'm saying? That was that blindfold up, you know what I'm saying? Not knowing the situation, not knowing.
Hold on. So look, your mama think I be acting funny or something? Based off of what you were saying a little bit ago. I'm just saying, I'm just gonna get to it.
I would say most of them think that you guys act funny, like after the divorce, because fuck it. Most of them thought you said y'all were being funny, but they didn't understand the situation. Like they don't understand a lot of shit until today. Like they would think that somebody acting funny, but that person not acting funny. You got that divorce was through, but then nobody followed through in contact and keep in contact. You know what I'm saying? Besides us, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not speaking upon us. I'm speaking upon them. They didn't follow through. They just expected divorce to be done and them not to run through or run across you guys anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like you guys were gonna leave fucking Hope, Arkansas, and you guys had a house sitting right there. You know what I mean? Like they knew where the house was, but didn't nobody want to go over there and say, at least speak to you guys. They might not want to speak to your daddy, but there's kids involved here. And that goes through the transition of to what we know today versus what we knew back then. It's not your fault. You guys didn't ask for that divorce. You guys didn't do nothing wrong with that. So why treat you guys differently throughout the divorce? But then at the same time, well, I'm not going to go over there because my sister got divorced, you know what I'm saying, from their dad or whatever. But you're not going there to see their dad. You're going there to see the kid. You're going there to make sure the kid is okay. You know what I'm saying? That's a big difference. And that is the transition and the livelihood that they didn't see back then. Yeah. Most people today still don't see that. They get divorced and they're forgetting that. Just like most men today, you getting divorced, forgetting you're not getting divorced. As long as you got kids involved, you're indebted to that side of the family for a lifetime because of those kids. Whether you like it or not, you're indebted to those kids. You're indebted with that family that's sitting on the other side of that. That's a life cycle. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that you and Denise will ever go through it, but I mean, at the same time, let's look at it. If you ever do split, those kids, those kids, your world. You're gonna do whatever you gotta do for those kids. That means graduations. You're gonna be around each other. Your kids ever get married, you're gonna be around those. You and Denise have to be around at that particular time. You have co-parenting comes into play at that time. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you get married, your new girl gonna have to realize she has to get along with Denise. If she doesn't get along with Denise, guess what? You're gonna walk anyway because that's causing more confusion between you and your girls. You know what I'm saying? I mean, real talk. That's what a lot of people fail to realize today, and it boggles me. It just troubles me. Like, dude, you made this kid, but then again, you don't want to be with the mother of the child. Why? You don't have to be. Don't get me wrong. You don't have to be, but you have to be.
Yeah. And see,
it's not 18 years.
See, this the thing, right? This is why I tell people if you can avoid the step family situation, do it. You know what I'm saying? Because like, looking at it, you know, being the devil's advocate, if let's just say your brother, let's just say you and your wife split up, but your brother's still going to hang out with your ex-wife, you're going to be like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you might feel a way about that.
What's going on over here? You know?
But if your brother explained it to you like, look, I'm just going to see the kids. All right, you could probably understand that a little bit better. But so it's like being an adult, I can see that. You know, you don't want to go hang out with your ex's kids, but you got into that situation. You know what I'm saying? And you knew it was kids involved. This is why I tell people, if you can avoid it. But like, it can work, but you gotta be really mature and really real. You know, you gotta be really real. Because like, let's just say when our parents got divorced, right? And you know how I say we kind of fell out of touch with everybody, pretty much, right?
I would give my mama a 5% on maturity level, and I would give your daddy maybe about 10-15%. And I give your daddy that because before he still checked in on us at school, or after he still checked in on us at school, for a time being until my mama canceled it.
Yeah, and see. The crazy thing is, right, it's really kind of hard to explain. I'm trying to find the best way to explain it.
Hey, look, you take your words and you express your words the way you express them. You if you feel it on your heart to say it, hey, good. Guess what? I ain't hold no animosity towards you. I'm pretty sure if Brockton sees this, he ain't gonna show no animosity towards you because it's how you feel. It's not. It's you know. It could have been explained a while back. We didn't have to go to Murray for all this, anything like that, so to speak. But I mean, it's how you feel, and
right.
the best way in life to get things out, just to say it, man. Because look, however you felt through an X amount of years or whatever, it's best to get it out. It's best to get it out now. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what? Like I said, I'm not holding anything towards what you say to me. Am I listening? You know, yes, 100%. I'm listening to you. But am I going to hold anything toward what you say? No, because I can't, because it's how you feel. You know, it's how you felt for years, and the only thing I can do is respect it, and try to grow from it, and try to, you know, if I can fix it, hey, I'll try my best to fix it.
Well, see,
this
is what I was gonna say, right? Is like, and keep in mind, I mean, of course, hopefully I don't come off as being disrespectful, because, you know, that's not my thing. But I do appreciate certain things that your mama did, and the family, you know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of appreciation in there, you know. But to go with the topic of being raised in a step family, don't do it if you can't. You know what I'm saying? But what I was saying, though, when I was saying you have to be mature and really real, and this is what I mean when I say really real. You know, as kids involved, you know they not your blood. If you gonna be there, you have to stay there, and you would need to tell your spouse or your sibling or whatever the case may be. Like, look, I know they split up, but I ain't gonna leave them kids. You know, I'm still gonna be there for them kids. And that's what I mean when I say really real. You just gonna have to lay it out there. Like, look, this is what it is. I know they got a divorce, but I ain't finna let them kids go. I done been around these kids, you know, pretty much in key parts of their life. And that didn't happen with us, right? I don't feel like anybody took the initiative to say that. Now, granted, it's probably more women in the family than men. So, of course, you know, women gonna take another woman's side. So you know how that goes. So it's like, I can kind of understand it just based off of that. But at the same time, I'm not saying it's right. You know,
you're right. You definitely right. It's not right. You know, regardless on whatever the differences may be between two adults, the rest of the family didn't have to distinguish the rest of the distinguish you guys out like that. You know what I'm saying? Because if you was a part of the family, just like, and I go on my situation right now, you know, not to speak totally upon it, but they want to treat X, Y, and Z to a certain extent and speak to X, Y, and Z. But at the same time, not close the doors on it. So what makes this different from you guys' situation? It doesn't make anything different. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's besides the simple fact of a allegation. You know what I'm saying? But you still speak to this individual when you see this individual. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, if you would do this to this person now, how come you didn't do this back then? You know what I mean? Maybe it took growth from you guys, but from what I recognize from my whole family throughout everything, is we have never shunned off anybody. But what I can say is, and what I will speak on is, I have seen them shun you guys off. I have seen it personally. You know what I'm saying? At everybody in our family, at all the ex-husbands, ex-people, whatever. You guys definitely got the short end of the stick on that one. Because to this day, and like I said, I can tell you to this day, I can tell you that ex-husbands that most of my family members talk to on a day-to-day basis, or willing to talk to on a day-to-day basis, or X, Y, and Z, because they're not in the family no more, but they still want to go and communicate to, or say whatever they want to say to, but then go back and look at it, and then look at you and Terrence's situation. Shit, they didn't even show up to your graduation, and if we wouldn't have been involved, Jordan wouldn't have been there. You know, or Terrence's graduation, if Jordan wouldn't have been in that same class, or Mary wouldn't have been in that same class. You know what I'm saying? They wouldn't have showed up for that. So how fair is that? You know, they didn't show up for your graduation, period, did they?
I don't think. If anybody, it might have been Cindy, if anybody.
And like I said, I mean, how is that? How is that showing support?
Oh, hold on.
You know what I mean?
Hold on. Not to mention when I see your mama and she be like, how my grandbaby's doing? Oh, well, she used to say that. She'd be like, oh, how my grandbaby doing this, that, and the other. And I just be like, crickets. You know? like, have you ever even seen them? Like, I don't know. It's like, I don't know. It's crazy. From your point of view, what's it like going from one stepdad to another?
Mind-boggling. Because you don't know who to trust no more. You don't know. Like nowadays, I can tell you, I'll be like, that dude out for one thing, man. He trying to hit something. You know what I'm saying? He trying to take me out the streets and everything like that. So he can get on the good side, so he go hit something. You know what I'm saying? But back then, it was still mind-boggling because you didn't know who to trust. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know who she meeting and everything like that, because an individual, just like today, an individual only gonna show you so much. He gonna show you what he wants you to see. You know what I'm saying? Whether he on crack or whether he's smoking dope. Like you said, when you're leaving one situation or one divorce and your mom meets another man. I remember this other man, I ain't gonna call his name out or anything like that, Tony Ghostin. But he was the next victim on the list, and he shattered our world. Kaboom. It was definitely a culture shock. I definitely didn't at first. First, I liked it, but then I started realizing what he was really doing, beating on her and shit like that. And then that's when all hell came loose. You know, I ain't gonna say my mom was perfect. By all means, she got her mistakes. She got her hang-ups, whatever. Maybe some shit that I don't even know. That she gonna take it to a grade. You know what I'm saying? Respectfully, respect her for that. But at the same time, culture shock after one environment to another environment was definitely unsafe for us as teenagers. What we had to endure then wasn't settling. I don't wish that on anybody. I don't wish that on my worst enemy. You know. But hey, we survived it. Me and my brother survived it. We made it out of it. My mom made it out of it. But definitely wasn't that situation. I had to write a book on that one.
So was the best times of your life when your mom was single?
I would definitely tell you the best time in my mom's life was, as looking in on it, was when my mom was married to your dad.
Hold on, that was the best time of her life or your life?
Both.
Why?
Stability. She might not like whatever the situation or quote unquote the end result of it or whatever, but at first it was stability. It was and you can tell it was stability because they wouldn't have grew so fast and accomplished or I guess accomplished. I mean, I guess that's the best way to put that. Bought a house or a trailer, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Bought a house, bought a home, bought multiple vehicles at the time. They was stable. They made the American dream at the time. They provided the American dream at the time.
Okay.
For themselves on both ends. You get that. Most people will sit back and say, "Well, our American dream is just, I want somebody to take care of me." That wasn't the case with them. I mean, they were 50-50. They were in it 50-50 at first. I don't know what really. I don't know really what's the downfall. You know what I'm saying? Neither side really gonna tell us what was truly the downfall.
Okay.
On the inside. You know what I'm saying? We can all speculate and guess and, have our own opinions about it, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I mean, them two, the only ones who really know what happened. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and until they really want to speak out about it publicly and voice their opinion on it.
Hey, maybe you should ask her.
I have. She's not going to admit to it. She's going to sit back and say it was X, Y, and Z. I'm not going to put back what I heard or anything like that because I know you got people that follow you and everything like that, and I don't want the backlash like that. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I think
we on the same page. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
you're right. But it's one of those ordeals where it's not here nor there anymore. To tell you the truth. You know what I'm saying? If it was, it was. If it didn't, it didn't. But I think that the question. Go back to the question that you asked was, do you think that she was happier with or without? I mean, it was. I would say with.
Yeah, no. The question was, were you happier with or without?
I was, because look, I will tell you this, like. We got introduced to Boy Scout. We got introduced to base. We was always active. As a family, as a group, we were always active. They kept us active like a mother. Like it wasn't nowhere that we had. We should. It basically like they set it up. Well, we shouldn't have been on the north side when we wasn't supposed to be on the north side. You know what I'm saying? I mean, go back. I look at it like that. You go back and look at it like they kept us active when. Or during our downtimes or during the times, quote unquote, we need to be doing something, or when the north side was active. I mean, like I said, I mean, we stayed in extra programs, after school programs. They always kept us into something, whether it was sports or after school extracurricular shit. I will actually, honestly, I would have definitely hands down to tell you that was my best time.
But now
I can't take away from that.
So if your next stepdad wasn't
abusive or on crack,
right? If he wasn't as bad as he was, would it have been the same though? Same answer?
No, it's still. I don't think it would have been the same. Honestly, I don't think it would have been the same. It take away the crack, the Critnac, take away the beatings that he provided. Shit, I don't think it'd been the same. And he might be a fan of yours too, and I'll tell you straight up and down. And he may have his family members looking at this shit too. I'll tell you, he is in no comparison to your dad and their cousins.
Yeah, I heard. But yeah. But look, I appreciate you for joining me though. You got anything you want to say to the potential listeners or viewers?
Hey, look, to the welcoming families, to outsiders, don't treat them no different than you would treat your own. Because at the end of the day, these are the innocent parties. These are the ones who walking in on something that maybe they didn't agree to in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't sit back and say, well, they were married into the family or they wasn't married into the family. It's not their place. You know what I'm saying? So if you're gonna welcome them in, welcome them in. Be real to them. Be true to them. Give them the same effort, the same benefits to as if they wasn't. You know, as if they were your sister's real child or your brother's real child. You know, just give them that. They deserve a chance too. You know, like I said before, the difference between ours were between Jeffrey and Terrence. They came in smart. They were already smart. Their mom already gave them that tutelage. You know what I'm saying? They came in, like I said, they make A's and B's in school. If not all A's, part of the gifted and talented community, they were there. They had this shit together. Don't make them struggle the same way they had to. Everybody ain't built the same. Everybody's not the same. Sometimes it takes more of an individual to put themselves in a category or position to do better when all they wanted in the first place was to be wanted, to be accepted, to be the same, to be put in that category. These kids that's coming in, accept them as family, accept them as them, and don't treat them any different than how you would treat the rest of them. It's not their fault. It's the parents' fault. If they decided to get married for 1 month, 2 months, whatever the case may be, it's not the kid's fault. It's the parents' fault. Hold the parents accountable. Don't hold the kids accountable. And once you do get divorced, and then they call it quits or whatever, if you was going over there and hanging out with these kids or these individuals before, continue that method. That only makes the kids stronger. That only makes that other person stronger. That don't count for you. You cutting your blessings short. You know, to count them out. Don't count the next person out. Be you. Be you and be true to you. Real shit.
All right, man. Hey, I appreciate it, man. Appreciate you opening up, man, to our potential listeners or viewers. Till next time, we out.